Friendship Village Tempe residents. Welcome to another edition of the Village Meeting, coming to you live from the Skirm Auditorium News Desk. Tonight, or this afternoon, I've got myself, Cole Marvin, and
Emily Garba, live on the scene.
Live on the scene. All right, folks, we're going to work our way through our typical Village Meeting agenda, but we're going to try and have a little bit of fun with it. I think it's important for everybody to know these are obviously very serious times, clearly an unprecedented event, and it's a situation that we're taking very serious. I think as we approach today's Village Meeting, we're going to try to have a little bit of a lighthearted approach, and what I don't want anybody to do is confuse our lighthearted approach with ours not taking this serious. I think, as you know, the Village has been taking all kinds of measures that are designed to help keep us as safe and as comfortable as we possibly can. We appreciate everybody's enthusiasm and willingness to help us, support us through this process. The amount of positive feedback that we've been getting from folks has been overwhelming. You folks are the best people we could ever ask for to be working through in a difficult time like this, and we just want you to know we are taking it very serious. We are doing what we believe is the best that we can to keep you safe, but we are, as always, this is Friendship Village, and we're going to try and have as much fun as we possibly can. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. As we start every Village Meeting, we'll go ahead and we're going to talk about the Employee of the Month. And before we identify the exact person that was the Employee of the Month for the month of April, we are going to let you know that we have had a lot of residents email, phone in, and they all have suggested that they nominate or that we nominate and consider making every employee here at Friendship Village Tempe an honorary Employee of the Month for the month of April. And so with that, we're going to absolutely do that, and we will be sure to share that with our employees. We're taking all the positive feedback that we're getting from you on a regular basis and channeling it back to them, which I believe is what they're turning into energy to find new and fun and exciting ways to make the best of this difficult situation. So with that, we did have the difficult task of selecting the one Employee of the Month, and we're going to go live to the scene where we're going to be presenting that employee with their Employee of the Month award. Come on in. All right, we're live at the scene here at Friendship Village Tempe, and we have tricked Peter Fraden into thinking he's here for something other than what he's here for. He has, in fact, been selected as the Employee of the Month for the month of April, and we have him here, and we're going to go ahead and present him with his certificate that he can display proudly in the Del Fuego Sports Lounge. I'm going to read some of the lovely things that were said about Peter and his job here as bartender for Friendship Village Tempe. Comments made by residents, coworkers, and supervisors are as follows. He is efficient, warm and helpful, charming and delightful, attentive and responsive, courteous and kind, and maintains a great social environment. He's a pleasure to be around. His upbeat attitude lifts spirits in addition to serving spirits. For those reasons and many more, he deserves to be the Employee of the Month. Our winner this month is Peter Fraden, our bartender in Del Fuego. I am going to present Peter with a pin that he can put on his name badge so that everybody knows he, in fact, was Employee of the Month for the month of April. I have all the lovely and true things that were said about Peter by his coworkers, residents, and supervisors, and $200 cash. Peter, what do you say?
I'm really overwhelmed. I had no idea this was happening. I was just grateful to have an opportunity to come back here during these difficult times and see all the residents and my dear friends. And it's a little overwhelming right now. I did not expect this, and I'm just truly honored. Thank you so much.
And one more surprise, we are going to be opening up Del Fuego for to-go cocktails starting on Friday. Make sure you're doing your social distancing, keeping 6 feet apart, but you'll be able to come in one way, have a cocktail or wine or beer fixed by Peter, and able to leave through another door and go and enjoy it wherever you choose to do so. So another update coming to you from the Dining Services Department. All right, back to Cole and Emily in the station. Studio. All right. Wow, what a great Employee of the Month opportunity that was. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Back.
Well, next, I think we're going to go over to Mark Young, our Sales and Marketing Director, and Mark is going to give us a forecast for the Sales and Marketing Department. Over to you, Mark.
Oh, sorry about that. Giving myself some love in the age of quarantine. Don't forget to give yourself some love, too. Since I last gave a weather report for all Friendship Village's 648 independent residents, this winter was above average in temps. We added 19 to the ready list, which brings us to 91. Our dew point was relatively stable with 5 closings, and our humidity was normal with 5 sales. We did experience a mild allergy season with 7 move-ins. However, on occasion, we did have some strong gusty winds, which resulted in 4 cancellations. I do have an advisory to issue. Our heat index will be above normal with our advertisement in the Gamage and Mesa Arts Center playbills. We did upgrade our Doppler radar by switching to Salesforce, a customer relations management system. Also, we do expect some relief from the rain by adding some new ambassadors to the Resident Support Marketing Committee. Dick Tucker, Cheryl Kirk, Justin and Margie Aringas, Rosemary James, Debbie Farnham, and Diane Whalen. Looking forward to working with you. My forecast for the spring is above average temperatures, average dew points and humidity with a slight cool breeze. Remember, good friends make great neighbors.
All right, thanks, Mark, for that forecast on the marketing and sales report. Sounds exciting. Okay, next we're going to go over to the Friendship Village Tempe Healthcare Center, where Jadine Schmidt, our Health Services Administrator, is standing by to give us her Health Center report. Jadine.
Thank you, Cole. Jadine Schmidt reporting live from the Healthcare Center at Friendship Village. Our Healthcare Center census for the month of March was 106. We had 49 admissions with 47 discharges. Nunnenkamp Center census was 66 of 67 apartments occupied. Memory Care census was 21 of 24 apartments occupied. Today at noon marks 3 weeks since the Healthcare Center went on lockdown. We deployed our pandemic emergency procedures with the entire interdisciplinary team on the morning of March 12th. I charged the team with squashing panic and fear, which has been easier said than done, applying common sense and using it as I trust them to make good decisions, and last but not least, making happy happen for our residents. We had already begun social distancing and canceling our group activities the week prior. By March 14th, per CMS direction, we discontinued communal dining and started room meal delivery service to take all the current recommended precautions we could to keep our residents safe. We are not accepting any visitors, and only medically necessary vendors are able to come in only after screening. If residents need to leave for medically necessary appointments, they are to wear a mask when out of the building. On a lighter note, we have been using Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, and Google Duo to stay in touch with our residents' loved ones. One of the heartwarming stories to share is that a female resident had called and Skyped with her daughter and granddaughter. At the end of the call, she thanked them for such a great show. We are having as much fun as we possibly can, given the circumstances, and making happy happen. I want to share a few examples. We have Michael Gathright, our administrator in training, who's holding these lovely posters for us. First of all, we have a resident that celebrated St. Patrick's Day down in the garden. We've been doing a lot of garden walks. The next example I have is a short-term resident that was here for a short-term stay. She was celebrating her 90th birthday with us. Her family had a huge party planned in our community room in the lower level on Sunday before we had to cancel it on that Saturday. We ensured that happy happened. We took her cake. We sang her happy birthday, and we Skyped her daughter. In this picture, you can see she is a little tearful. She was super thankful for all the love that we gave to her. Our other example is our very own Oliver Zimmerman. He turned 99, As you can see, his prized possession here is Gatorade. He was super thankful to the staff. One of our other favorite activities has included garden walks. As you can see, a few of our residents getting out and enjoying the fresh air. We've been very thankful that the weather has cooperated. These also happen to be a few of our residents' favorite activities. As you can see, we are having social distance hall bingo, and last but certainly not least are our live concerts in the hallway. Today I bring to you Jed Anderson, our chaplain, for our favorite version of Sweet Caroline.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's going strong. Was in the spring, and spring became a summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hands, washing hands, reaching out, don't touch me, I won't touch you. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. I've been inclined, bum, 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 to believe they never were. No, now I look at the night, and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulder. How can I hurt when holding you? Hands, washing hands, reaching out, don't touch me, I won't touch you. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. I'm inclined, bum, 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 to believe they never were. No, 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 no.
All right, thank you, J.D., for that health center update. Next, we're going to go to Travis Saunders, our Chief Information Officer in the IT office, and Travis is going to be reporting on traffic here at Friendship Village, Tempe. Travis.
Shiny up here. We're live. Hello, Friendship Village. This is your friendly neighborhood CIO, Travis League City Saunders, with the traffic report here. As you can see, we have inbound packet traffic. We have outbound packet traffic. We have traffic to the cloud. We have traffic to YouTube. It is pandemonium. Every bit of this traffic has to travel from the bridge to the IDF, to the MDF, and then out to the cloud. All of this internet traffic, sorry, we're not, what do you mean not internet traffic? It's CIO, it's information. This is internet traffic. Why would I not expect, yes, no, this is just like, yes, this is just like Jamaica. I'll call you back. Hold up. Almost there. Almost there. I'm coming. One more second. Almost there. Almost. Okay. Still on my way. Almost there. Heading outdoors. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Can you see that? That's all the traffic. There's not a lot of traffic. We're doing good. All right, back to you.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
All right, I'm getting some news right now. Yes, Emily. Alrighty. Wow, amazing. Breaking news, everybody. Starting today, every Thursday in April, we encourage residents to go to their balconies at 2 p.m. to make as much noise as possible as an act of solidarity with all of the craziness going on right now. Yes, every Thursday during the month of April. All right, awesome. Back to you.
Next up, we're going to the Village Pantry to check in with our intrepid reporter, Connie Stryock. Connie?
Thank you, Cole. I'm here at the C-Store with Jess Paredes. Hi, Jess.
Hello. Hope everyone's doing okay.
Good. We're going to take a tour of the C-Store here in just a moment. But Jess, could you explain what these arrows and blue tape lines are on the floor?
Sure. So we want the residents to come in and also practice social distancing. So on the line, we have arrows facing to the end of the register while you're shopping. We have lines straight so that it takes it 6 feet apart from each resident, including by the register, so that no one gets too close.
Well, that's good planning. And are you finding that people are abiding by that pretty well?
Oh, well, most people will, but some we have to kind of remind them, just like we all do. So little reminders everywhere.
I've noticed I need reminding sometimes when I'm in the store about that, so I can understand why they do that here. So let's talk about the setup and kind of take a little tour.
Well, as you'll notice, we have most of our products that we've always had, but we have brought in some new products like some microwavable choices. We have our apples now individually packaged so that no one is touching all of them. We put them in a fresh fruit cleanser and then we wrap them. Going down this way, we also have some new cashews and fruit chips, little tuna snacks with crackers. Ensure on the table over there, and of course for the CPAP machines, we have the distilled water on the table.
Oh, that's excellent. It sounds like you're thinking about just everything.
Well, we try, and we're always taking suggestions so that I can look it up and see if I can bring it in.
What days and hours is the C-Store open?
We're open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We also do serve hot coffee behind our register, so if you need any hot coffee in the morning, we're more than welcome to get it for you to go. Also with the creamers to go and some sugars. We also are going to be starting some hot soup to go on Tuesdays, and we also, once we go back around, I'll show you where we can get the sandwiches and salads at. As you can see, we have little triangle sandwiches, cranberry salad, egg salad, tuna salad on a croissant, salads down here, and yogurt parfaits with hard-boiled egg packs and vegetable crudités.
I see another customer over here.
Yeah.
Let's find out what Carolyn is getting today.
Oh, yeah. Romantic things like orange juice.
Oh, that's for the vodka?
Exactly. How did you know?
Well, let's just say I've known a few things in my day.
Ice cream, too, though.
We have to have ice cream, especially during these trying times.
Absolutely, yes. And that's about it today.
Carolyn, what are you doing to keep yourself occupied when you're at home?
Reading quite a lot, trying to sort out things in my desk drawers, which are a big deal. And eventually I will get them cleaned out and lots of stuff thrown away.
A little bit of spring cleaning, it sounds like.
Yes, and more needed.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you, Carolyn. Take care.
Thank you.
Just thank you for taking time out to introduce us to all the things that you have here in the Village Pantry.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I hope everyone comes down. We really don't want you to be out too much, just for your safety of things. Please make sure you keep a 6-foot social distance, and we're glad to help out. If you have any suggestions, please let the register, the cafe attendant on register know, so we can write it down and try to get that in for you. So 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Village Pantry, because the cafe people want to see you.
Thank you so much. Now back to you, Cole.
Next, we're going to check in with Matt Roeder, who is giving us our sports ball report for the week. Matt?
Sports.
There aren't any sports.
All right, right, welcome back to the FVT News Network Village Meeting live from Skirm Auditorium. We're going to be starting off with our main reports this evening, and we're going to start with Emily Garba, our Associate Executive Director. Emily.
Yes, I have some information from the chaplains. They have gone electronic with our worship services, so you can officially go to church in your pajamas. That's been a big thing for people, I think. So broadcast times on Sunday are 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. We will also have a daily devotional Monday through Friday, and it will broadcast at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Chaplain Jed is playing a lot of music in the health center. We're doing concerts in the halls, and feel free to check out. We actually have a video of that on Facebook. It's pretty neat. We are also working with our Banner Desert chaplains for any independent living or really any village resident in the hospitals. The Banner Desert chaplains are willing to work with us to get visitations and check in on everyone in these different times. Cole?
All right, Emily, thank you. One of the things that I'm having a lot of folks reach out to me about and expressing some concern is that some residents appear not to be practicing social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
There are concerns that some folks aren't taking this quite as serious as they should. Continuing to get together in apartments, getting together and tighter than 6 foot distances. I've had some reports of people in the convenience store and the village pantry being approached by other residents and being concerned about that resident not knowing about the 6 foot rule. So I think what we want to do is at least take this opportunity to reinforce the fact that social distancing, it is weird. It is something that's new and different. It couldn't be any further from what the village embraces, embodies, and is all about. But I think, unfortunately, during these unprecedented times, we're really going to ask folks to be courteous and aware of the 6 foot distance. Do everything that you can really to maintain that 6 feet. We do believe that that's important as we try to slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus as it relates to the village in particular, and really just kind of reinforce that social distancing.
Agreed.
Another concern that I've had from folks is residents that continue to leave the campus. We understand that Governor Ducey is going to be introducing a stay-at-home measure. That would probably be the highest measure that could be issued at this point in time, meaning that if it's not an absolute necessity for you to leave your home to go out into the community, they're asking that you definitely please do stay at home. So I think major emergency medical appointments, I think a lot of people are going to find that their physicians are probably canceling appointments or doing their appointments over the internet in some way that they can look at each other, talk to each other, anything other than going into the actual doctor's office. I think that as we saw with Connie and the Village Pantry, we've really stepped things up here in hopes that people would not have to leave the village and really use that area as a grocery store, in addition to the supplement, the delivered meals that we're supplementing that with. So definitely want to reinforce the fact that things are shifting now to a little bit tighter expectations, tighter guidelines, really asking folks to do that social distancing, keep the 6 feet apart from one another, don't be getting into large groups, really avoid getting together as much as possible, possibly using technology, FaceTime, Skype, email, whatever the case may be. I see a lot of folks on Facebook. Travis said the internet traffic here at the village is going wild, so it sounds like people are really using technology to stay in touch with their loved ones and really eliminate any unnecessary visits on and off the campus. So we appreciate everybody for helping come together and respect those wishes. So, Emily, what do you have next?
Well, that's a good intro, and so I have some information from IT themselves, the people, the myth, the legends.
Yes.
Yes. So during this period of social distancing, they're making sure that all the internet tiers that we offer here at the village are set at sufficient levels to use technologies that Cole mentioned, like Google Duo, FaceTime, and other such methods. We are getting pretty busy on the traffic. We'll get that full traffic report from him later, but internet traffic, pretty busy. We did borrow some Chromebooks from the foundation, so thank you to them for allowing us to divert their Chromebooks, but we're using them with our activities team in the health center and nunning camp to help residents call spouses, family, or doctors to keep people connected. And we're also having our assistance in living team help our independent residents with connecting with their doctors, because we're starting to see more of the video appointments, like you said.
No doubt, no doubt. As you folks know, we have shut down our restaurants. We've shut down the Embers. We've shut down Del Fuego as part of our response, trying to do what we can do to eliminate the unnecessary sharing of the virus. And we have instituted meal deliveries where we are delivering to residents' homes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Kudos to the dining services staff who took this on when we first started thinking about the idea of it being necessary. It was one of those that we kind of chuckled and just didn't think it was going to be the case. And then once we realized it was remarkable to see that team swing into action and do what was necessary in order for us to be able to basically plate 700 meals and get them expedited. The first day, it took us a little bit more than an hour. It was about 90 minutes. The next day, we had it down to 45 minutes, and we're hovering right just above 30 minutes at this point, getting all those meals plated up and expedited out throughout the village. So we're getting lots of feedback from residents asking about various accommodations that we can make, and we're trying to do the best that we can in working through those. We did have to identify some priorities, really where we're going to start and focus our time and energy in terms of exceptions that we can make. And those are really going to be your food allergies, people who are truly allergic to the things that are being served. That would include the gluten-free folks. And then our diabetics, of course. We have to be mindful of them. And I know that we've had some feedback from diabetics having questions or concerns about some of the carbohydrates or the amount of carbohydrates we're serving, and we're doing our best to get those adjusted to and make sure we're being mindful of our diabetics. And then, of course, vegetarians. We are doing everything we can to accommodate their needs as well, and I think so far, all things considered, we're doing a nice job. We are getting a lot of feedback on what we call preferences, and our ability to accommodate those are not quite as easily accommodated as making sure the other ones are. So we do want to make sure folks know that we are doing our best to accommodate preferences as well as we plan the menus, but our ability to really accommodate specific preferences is slightly compromised. We have had a lot of folks give us feedback on the fact that we're serving too much, giving too much, and we've dialed back those portion sizes, have gotten positive feedback on those. And then we have also seen residents actually opt out of one of the two meals. We've seen residents opt out of lunch. We've also seen them opt out of dinner. We've even seen couples still want lunch and dinner but only bring one plate versus two. And we are able to accommodate those. Most of those requests are coming into us via the resident apps, dining services feedback form. We're using that. That is a great way, and that's one I think would probably be suggested. We're maintaining a master list. We're able to modify that. One thing we do want to make you aware of is some of those requests take 24 hours to process. So if you asked us today at lunchtime to discontinue your dinner meal, you may still get dinner that night. However, by the next day, 24 hours later, we would be able to make sure that that accommodation was made. So some of the things that we're working with in dining services, if you have not received your lunch meal by around 1 p.m., that would suggest something didn't go right, and we would ask you to give us a call at the front desk to make us aware. As far as dinner, we would expect your dinner to be delivered by about 6 p.m. So if after 6 p.m. You haven't received your dinner yet, you might give us a call at the front desk just to let us know, and we can look into what happened and make sure that you do get your meal. All right, Emily, how about back to you?
All right. Well, in other updates, because you can do more than eat, I promise. Our library is back open. We actually had it closed for some repair work. So it is open during this time. We would definitely suggest that you sanitize your hands before and after. That's going to be a good practice. We will be having to replace the flooring at some point. We had a leak in the garage, and the pipes happen to be in the floor of the library. So once we select some flooring, we will have to close again briefly to put down that new floor, but then we'll be back open again.
All right. Well, I'm going to still be talking about food because I think everybody knows how much I like to eat, and I just assume everybody else feels that way too. We are looking at offering some more things based upon feedback in our village pantry. As was mentioned, all of the items in the village pantry are available to residents. They will be billed to your bill on an incline basis. That means any purchases that you make outside of the meals that are being delivered will be billed to you on your invoice. We have suspended all dining dollar activity during this time, and we are providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner to residents. But anything that you purchase in the C-store is on an incline basis, meaning you are going to be billed for that amount regardless of what it is. And so along those lines, we're going to be offering some sandwiches as well as salads. Those are two things that we've had a lot of people request. They are available. You can purchase them and you will be billed for them. Another thing that we've had a lot of feedback and requests on are for soups. So we are going to be bringing back our scratch-made soups, serving those and making those available in a to-go container in our village pantry, as well as freshly brewed coffee. A lot of folks reported that it's been several years since they've made a fresh pot of coffee and discovered they weren't very good at it. So we decided that we would figure out a way to make sure that the coffee continues to flow. And that is available in our village pantry area or the village cafe for that matter. And those items are either currently be offered or will be coming very soon. And of course, we have Bluebell ice cream pints available for people to take to go because ice cream is almost always the best medicine.
Especially in quarantine.
Especially in quarantine.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, what do you have?
Well, speaking of, I'll follow on your food thread. So
right.
with a delivery comes more trash. I'm sure people are wondering what to do with some of that. We will be putting some guidance in your food bags here soon. Our own recycling expert, Ruth Kearns, is typing something up for us. So we will have information out to you pretty soon. I would say the summary is that the majority of containers that contained food, unless really thoroughly cleaned, are not going to be a candidate for recycling. So sad but true. However, if you do have additional trash, we're going to be still picking up trash on a regular schedule. But Grounds wanted us to let everyone know that during this time, and actually forevermore going forward, we will have additional pickups between 7 and 10 every day. So if you were to put some additional trash out, the team will be driving around looking for that. So if you put that out, they will pick it up between 7 and 10, Monday to Friday.
All right. Well, in other news, we do continue to work on our nurse practitioner clinic, which is going to be located down in the Courtyard Apartments, and that is going to be apartment A172.
That's correct.
A172. We are working on getting that modified so that we would be able to operate our assistance in living department out of the same apartment that we would have our nurse practitioner clinic. We think there's a lot of opportunity for continuity of services there. So we're what month are we targeting and rolling that out?
Soon.
Soon?
Yeah.
All right. That
Yeah.
sounds specifically vague to me.
That is.
I like it.
Yeah.
And in other news, our community garden is underway. If you travel back and around the back 40 part of the village, down over by Earhart Park, or the wall that separates us from Earhart Park, you will notice that the gate has been severely modified, and work is underway to start building out the community garden. So we're excited about that. A lot of hard work has gone into that. Doug Hobson and his committee have continued to meet and work closely with the residents of the Evergreen neighborhood area and working together and creating a community garden. I think that once we're all through all this, we'll find to be a fun escape for people to enjoy growing things and just kind of getting back into the swing of things that are fun other than coronavirus.
Because that doesn't qualify.
It does not.
No. If you're using this time to clean out your closets and drawers, we do have a brand spanking new veterans donation box. It's complete and stationed near the tram yard and recycling bins back by our receiving area. So thanks, big shout out to the wood shop, Larry Hine and Michael Nielsen for your hard work and very skilled craftsmanship.
All right. Hey, all right, back to food. We are working on a program where we are going to be opening up Del Fuego for to-go only cocktails. We'll be offering a full bar where we are able to put cocktails into cups with a lid that again are designed to go. There will be no seating available in Del Fuego whatsoever. We will have removed some of the seating out in the patio so that if folks did want to sit out there, we could maintain adequate distance from one another to be able to enjoy ourselves. But working with Peter, the bartender, to be able to offer some of that type of service. We would also have full bottles of wine available for sale, in addition to glasses of wine, bottled beer, as well as our beer that we have on tap. So we have heard that as feedback, and we are working on it. The liquor laws have loosened up a little bit that allow us to be able to make those available to go. So I think that'll be fun. And the team is working on offering some very limited concepts on very specific days. If somebody's looking for something just to kind of break away from the meals we're delivering, looking for a little spontaneity, we are going to be rolling out personal pan pizzas on Thursdays and Fridays in the Village Cafe. And then on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, we're going to be looking to offer cheeseburgers and Impossible Burgers. And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we're going to be looking at offering soft tacos with 3 varieties, and also chips, salsa, and sour cream. So, what do you think about that?
Well, that sounds pretty good to me. Now, are the alcoholic beverages to go for residents only?
Well, that's a good question, Emily. Are you 21?
I was asking more for a friend.
Oh, okay. Well,
so if it's not for employees,
we should probably keep it exclusive to residents at this point.
Okay, just bear that in mind, Mr.
Okay.
Marvin. So we are starting a new program for to kind of build on our Employee of the Month program. You may not be familiar with all the specific particulars of Employee of the Month, but it is currently for hourly employees that have worked here for a certain duration, don't have any correctives, all that kind of thing. And there's a decent segment of our workforce that's not eligible for that recognition, and we really wanted to kind of close that gap. So we have come up with a leader of the quarter, which would essentially target our middle management. We have about 50 people in that group, so we figure quarterly it'd be really worthwhile. So if you have someone that you had in mind and have previously maybe not known if they're eligible for Employee of the Month, they are now eligible for Leader of the Quarter. You can still use the same forms in the alcove that you would use for Employee of the Month, and we will just redirect it to Leader of the Quarter. So just hoping to get more recognition to our team that definitely deserves it. I think that'll be good.
I agree. One thing that we have done, amongst many things, in response to the coronavirus epidemic or pandemic, is we created a button on our resident apps, and we called it COVID-19, and that is the area that we're really funneling or channeling information to for people to use as a resource. And I get a lot of emails, I get phone calls, I even get handwritten letters, people asking questions about what we're doing, and we're answering those more in a one-off format. I think what we'd like to do is start to develop a frequently asked questions section within the COVID-19. And in order to do that, we're going to make a feedback form available under the COVID-19 button. This would be no different from the dining services feedback form that is available to residents, where they tell us how their meals went and various things like that. This would be a very similar form, same format, and we will have that delivered to the specific people who will be compiling that information, answering those questions, and then ultimately maintaining an ongoing frequently asked questions document on our COVID-19 button on resident apps. And one of the questions that I continue to get is, will we update residents should we have a positive case of corona here on our campus, whether it be our residents or our staff? And the answer is yes. we do plan on making people aware. The last thing we want to do is generate panic. And so I think having the information is the first step in that direction. I think everybody understands the level of transparency that we enjoy here at the Village. We do not have secrets to keep. We are certainly hopeful and optimistic that we might be able to get through this without any cases. But unfortunately, based upon the math we're seeing, it seems unlikely. So should or when we find out that we do have a confirmed positive case of corona, we would make that announcement, most likely on channel 1960, making you aware of it, and then posting the notice of whatever the information is on our COVID-19 resident apps button. So that is a question that I'd like to take this opportunity to answer and make sure everybody knows. Yes, we will notify you should or if or when we have a positive case of corona here on the Village campus.
Hoping to stay away from that, certainly.
Yes.
Yes. So, construction update. Our construction rolls along out there on Southern. The advice that we've given Ryan Company is we've asked them to keep all of their teams within what we call their little cage, their fenced area. So all of those teams are staying in that area, and they are definitely implementing a lot of measures with hand washing stations and social distancing. And so they're still able to accomplish their work while staying in their area. So we aren't really expecting any bumps in the road with that process. But tying into expecting and bumps, I am expecting a bump. And in September, my husband and I will be welcoming a baby girl.
Wow.
It's true.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any better.
Don't be a baby, Cole.
I won't. I'm sorry. Well, congratulations, Emily and
Thank
Ebro. That's got to be exciting.
It's a weird time.
What's its name? Her name?
No, remains to be seen.
Oh.
I'm going to stay away from Corona.
Corona is not going to be. I think that's probably a good idea.
I'm not going to go with that.
All right. Well, speaking of staying away from Corona, I just want to review some of the things we're doing here at the Village to try and keep things as clean and sanitary as we can. As you all know, we have pulled the housekeepers off of going into resident apartments and cleaning, and that really is not anything other than an attempt to try to prevent us from bringing anything into your apartment. All of our staff go home at night, and they go home to their homes where people who have been out and about in places that aren't quite as confined as the Village are, and that's just a fact of the matter that we're going to have to deal with and do deal with. As much as we don't want to open up opportunities for people to bring the coronavirus to the Village, we do have to let our staff go home at night, and we do have to have them come back in the next day. We are aware of some of the challenges that not having housekeeping in your apartment is presenting. We are aware that that is a very serious concern, and we respect that. I think right now we probably have a little bit bigger fish to fry, but at the same time we know that as this is probably going to draw through all of April and possibly into May, we are going to have to put some sort of plan together. We don't know what that is right now, but we are working on it. We are aware of it. So once we have it figured out, we will be back in touch with you to let you know. In the meantime, we have deployed our housekeeping team in all different types and ways, from cleaning and sanitizing all of the high-touch areas out here in the Village, anything that residents are touching on a regular basis. We're really focusing hard on cleaning those regularly. We have fully implemented restrictions on who is able to come and go to the Village. We are managing all package deliveries being delivered to the guardhouse, so as to limit the number of people coming on and off of our campus, and then using our staff to deliver those packages. I think that's going well. As you all know, we've canceled all large on-site group events and recreational activities through the month of April. And as we learn more, we will let you know what May looks like. We continue to review our emergency preparedness and response program. Jadine and her friends at the healthcare center have been working hard, always updating that manual, never thinking we were going to need it quite to the scale that we are, but we are. I'd like to give kudos out to Life Care Services, the management company that helps support Emily, myself, and Jadine in managing the village. They have put together a really good group of people that are providing us real-time feedback on a regular basis and really helping support us here at the community level, giving us good direction and good information. We continue to try to build up our supply and inventory of personal protective equipment, as you all know. Things like thermometers, very difficult to source, all types of masks that are necessary, equally difficult to source. We are relying upon some strategic relationships in hopes of receiving some large shipments of those this month, here in the next week, as a matter of fact. And in particular, masks are something that are really being strongly suggested. I think we all know that it's not going to necessarily prevent things, but it's better than nothing. And so we are working on getting those masks here on our campus, building up that supply, and are going to start using those on a more regular basis, especially employees who are coming into direct contact with residents. So when you see people wearing those, that's not to suggest that we have a confirmed case. That's just to suggest that we think that's a prudent measure that we should be taking and will be using once we have an adequate supply to where we're comfortable rolling that out, which should be later this week, most likely. We are continuing to work with our best practices as it relates to the CDC, the Arizona Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the local emergency response organization that we belong to called ASCHAIR. So we continue to put those measures in place, and those are just some of the things we're doing here to keep the village as safe as possible. Emily?
Yeah, I'm out. You win.
I win?
You have more stuff.
I've got more stuff. Well, I think just to kind of close things out, I'm going to cover some things that I think we already know but never could hear enough of. Avoid crowds and large gatherings. I know some residents are still getting together. We do want to discourage that. As difficult as it is, we do want to discourage that. Handshaking, hugging, couldn't discourage it anymore. That day will return, hopefully. We can't wait. Until then, we have the corona bump that we have seen a lot of folks using. Avoid touching your face. I know people are sitting at home saying, Cole, you've touched your face 37 times during this newscast. I know that. I can't help it. It's just a thing. All right, as we all know, washing our hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, which means singing happy birthday how many times?
Twice.
2 times.
2.
All right. Regularly disinfecting your personal space. That is something that I have had people reach out to us about, is the ability to have housekeeping supplies to do some of those things. If you do have a need, reach out to us at 8114 Environmental Services, and we will put our heads together to work with you folks and figure out a way to get you what you need. Visitors, I think we've pretty much taken care of that. We're asking for people really, unless it's absolutely emergent and essential, keeping all visitors off campus. And again, reinforcing the habit of social distancing, really looking to ask people to maintain that 6-foot distance. So, and then with that, I have had some people concerned about other residents possibly running out of things. And as I said, we're doing our best to stock this convenience store or the village pantry with as much different types of things as people may need. Obviously, it's impossible for us to be a full-blown grocery store, but if you have some items that you wanted to suggest, we'll do our best to procure them. If you have somebody that is running out of something, encourage them to reach out to us. We can figure it out for them. If that means us going to the grocery store for you, we still think that's an option. We would ask people to use good judgment in terms of what is an absolute necessity versus things that we might desire or want. But this is Friendship Village. There's not much we won't do for folks. So I think with that, I just want to close out with a thank you. We've had so much positive support. You folks are definitely taking lemons and making lemonade, as are we. Everybody's been very understanding as we try to figure out things that we've never done before, and now we're kind of shifted into the mode to we've gotten fairly decent at them. Now we're looking at how we can make them fun. We will continue to look at ideas and things like having a newscast village meeting, looking for opportunities to make it fun. So if you have ideas, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know what those are, and we'll see if we can't get them implemented. But I think during this difficult time, I ask you to stay positive and remain flexible, and we really appreciate your support, and we'll continue to do our best to meet your needs and keeping you safe during this difficult time. So thank you all very much, and have a great rest of your day.
Stay classy, Village.
Happy hours canceled. Sorry.